Welcome to the AI with Arun show. In this video, we are going to brief you on one of the most technologically advanced rescue missions in modern military history, a real-world event that unfolded during Operation Epic Fury in the spring of 2026. A two-person crew aboard an F-15E Strike Eagle, that's a twin-engine fighter jet, was shot down over Iranian territory. The pilot was recovered quickly, but the second crew member, a senior officer called a weapons systems officer, vanished deep inside enemy terrain and stayed missing for more than 24 hours. He was hiding 500 kilometers behind enemy lines. That's roughly the distance from Los Angeles to San Francisco, in some of the most dangerous mountain terrain in the Middle East. This was difficult. 24+ hours missing, 16 unmanned drones lost in the weeks before this incident, and yet 100% of the crew was eventually recovered alive. That outcome was made possible by artificial intelligence. This video explains exactly how. Let's set the scene. The aircraft that was shot down was not the stealth F-35 that Iranian state television initially claimed. Physical debris analysis and online imagery confirmed it was an F-15E Strike Eagle, a proven combat aircraft used for precision strikes. Both crew members ejected before the plane hit the ground. The pilot was found quickly near the southern border. But the weapons systems officer, essentially the navigator and targeting expert sitting behind the pilot, could not be immediately located. He was alone in the province of Kogiluya and Boyer Ahmad, about 500 kilometers southwest of Tehran. The mountains there reach over 7,000 feet. He used his SERE training, that stands for Survival, Evasion, Resistance, and Escape, to climb a ridge and hide inside a rock crevice. Meanwhile, Iranian state television broadcast a message urging locals to capture the officer, offering a $60,000 reward. Videos showed armed Bakhtiari tribesmen forming search parties on horseback and foot. Thousands of Iranian military personnel fanned out across the region. The window to reach him before capture was closing by the hour. This table compares how search and rescue missions were conducted in the past versus how they are conducted today with artificial intelligence. Think of it as the difference between using a printed map and a live GPS that also predicts traffic. In the old model, a downed crew member was located by monitoring emergency radio beacons and triangulating the signal manually. Slow, imprecise, and dependent on the enemy not jamming the frequency. In the AI-enhanced model, multiple sensor systems, thermal cameras, electromagnetic scanners, and satellite imagery are fused together in real time, giving commanders a living picture of the battlefield instead of a static snapshot. For threat identification, traditionally, pilots relied on a preloaded catalog of known enemy radar types. If Iran used a new radar system, the plane's computer simply didn't recognize it. Today, AI processes unknown signals on the fly and updates the threat database in minutes instead of weeks. For the search itself, instead of manned aircraft flying low and slow, exposing pilots to gunfire, AI-controlled drone swarms now cover the same ground faster, cheaper, and without risking additional lives. Every row in this table represents a life-saving efficiency gain. To safely fly rescue helicopters through Iranian airspace, the military first had to neutralize Iran's air defense radars. This is called electronic warfare. The battle fought not with guns, but with radio signals, jamming, and radar deception. Here's why AI was so critical. Iranian air defenses don't always use their radar systems in a standard way. They switch frequencies, use unexpected patterns, or activate entirely new equipment that American planes had never encountered before. In the old system, pilots would see a warning saying unknown emitter, meaning the plane's computer simply had no idea what it was looking at. Project Overwatch changed that. Flight tested by Lockheed Martin at Nellis Air Force Base in February 2026, just weeks before this incident, it was the first time an AI model ran directly on a fighter jet's onboard computers and identified an unknown radar signal in real time, displaying a clear threat label on the pilot's visor without needing to phone home to a ground station. Even more impressive, after detecting a new signal, automated tools labeled it, retrained the AI model, and uploaded the update to the aircraft systems in under 1 minute. In the Iran mission, this meant rescue helicopters could fly their low-altitude routes through the mountains with the threat picture constantly updated, instead of flying blind. Finding one person hiding in a mountain crevice is like looking for a single grain of rice in a football stadium. Traditional search patterns, expanding squares, spiral sweeps, are slow and require human pilots to fly at low altitude where they are exposed to ground fire. Autonomous drone swarms solve both problems. Think of them like a coordinated school of fish. One operator sets the mission objective, find this person in this grid, and the swarm handles everything else: navigation, formation, avoiding collision with terrain, dividing the search area efficiently. The key word here is autonomous. These drones are not remotely piloted one by one. They are trained using an algorithm called Proximal policy optimization, a machine learning technique where the AI learns from millions of simulated searches until it becomes expert at navigating complex three-dimensional environments like deep canyons and steep mountain ridges. In the Arun operation, drone swarms simultaneously performed two jobs: searching the mountain terrain for the officer's position and forming a surveillance perimeter to monitor and track the approaching tribal militias. The thermal cameras on these drones can detect a temperature difference as small as 0.05 of a degree Celsius, which is how they ultimately found the officer's heat signature through a rock shelf. When you have dozens of drones streaming high-definition video around the clock, the amount of footage generated is staggering. No team of human analysts can review thousands of hours of video in real time. This is where computer vision, AI that can see and interpret images, becomes mission-critical. Think of it like this. Instead of having 10 analysts staring at screens hoping to spot something, you have an AI watching every frame of every feed simultaneously, flagging only the frames that contain something worth human attention. The 4 systems on your screen each do something specific. YOLO, which stands for You Only Look Once, processes an entire video frame in a single pass, identifying moving objects in real time. Faster RCNN identifies objects with greater precision, useful for cluttered environments where there's a lot of visual noise. Lock 8 scans for unnatural colors, like the bright orange of a survival vest against green mountain vegetation. ADIAT processes hundreds of stitched satellite images in bulk to catch clues that individual analysts might miss. The critical outcome in Arun: thermal cameras paired with machine vision detected the officer's body heat through the rock shelf where he was hiding. The temperature difference was just 0.05 degrees Celsius, invisible to the naked eye, but flagged instantly by the algorithm, which pinpointed his exact coordinates and relayed them to the rescue command center. Rescuing someone behind enemy lines requires thousands of calculations happening simultaneously. How much fuel do the helicopters have? Where are the enemy radar systems right now? What routes avoid anti-aircraft fire? Is the weather changing? Which tribal militia patrol is closest? In the past, human planners worked through these variables manually, a process that could take days. AI decision support systems collapse that timeline to seconds. The concept is called decision compression, the ability to synthesize enormous amounts of data and generate ready-to-execute mission options at speeds no human team can match. 3 systems were at work here. PADL, developed by the Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory, trains AI agents in a real-time digital replica of the battlefield called a digital twin. Imagine a video game that uses live satellite data to recreate the exact terrain, troop positions, and weather of the real-world environment. Seldon adds political and economic calculations. It models whether a particular military action might accidentally trigger a wider escalation. Palantir, integrated with Anthropic's Claude AI model, synthesized drone footage, intercepted communications, and human intelligence reports into coherent mission options. Academic observers noted in March 2026 that this integration was actively shortening the military's decision timeline from days to minutes. In the Arun rescue, the system identified safe helicopter flight corridors, routed aircraft around active surface-to-air missile sites, and coordinated airstrikes on approaching enemy convoys, all in real time. Modern combat isn't just fought with aircraft and missiles. It's also fought with information, what the enemy believes, and what the public sees on social media. In this mission, AI played a critical role on both fronts. On the offensive side, the CIA launched a deliberate deception campaign inside Iran. Intelligence operators spread a false narrative through Iranian communication networks, claiming that both crew members had already been safely extracted via ground routes. The effect was immediate. Iranian search teams dispersed their forces to chase false leads, reducing the pressure on the officer's actual hiding location. This bought the rescue package the time it needed. On the defensive side, Iranian state media posted a video within hours of the shootdown, showing what appeared to be a blindfolded American pilot being held by IRGC soldiers. It was designed to demoralize, to create political pressure to stop the rescue operation, and to make it appear capture had already occurred. Digital forensic analysts ran the video through an AI tool called Hive Moderation. Within minutes, it returned a 98.8% probability that the image was synthetically generated by artificial intelligence, what people call a deepfake. Analysts identified structural distortions in how the limbs were rendered, unnatural overlaps between the figure and the chair, and a visible meta-AI watermark embedded in the footage. With that analysis in hand, military spokespeople immediately and confidently rebutted the propaganda, allowing the rescue to continue without political interference. Let's talk about real numbers. The bar chart that you see now compares the detection accuracy of different AI systems under different conditions. And the gaps are eye-opening. YOLO achieves 92% accuracy in clear conditions, meaning it correctly identifies targets in nearly 19 out of 20 cases. Faster RCNN reaches 88%. These are impressive numbers, but look at Project Maven, a separate AI targeting system that identifies vehicles like tanks. In good weather, it performs at 60%, which is already worrying for a military system. In snow or heavy rain, it drops to just 30%. That means in bad weather, it gets the answer wrong more often than it gets it right. The thermal camera paired with AI vision achieved 85% accuracy in nighttime operations, which is remarkable, because standard optical cameras are nearly useless at night. Human visual review, by comparison, comes in at 45% when fatigued analysts are processing large volumes of footage. 2 additional data points. The Hong Kong Fire Services Department increased its search accuracy by 20%, simply by tripling the number of training images fed to its AI model. And in Project Overwatch, the system retrained its threat library in under 1 minute after detecting a new radar signal. These numbers tell a clear story. AI outperforms humans at scale, speed, and in certain adverse conditions, but performance is not guaranteed, and environmental conditions matter enormously. AI made this rescue possible, but AI also introduces serious risks that the military and legal community are actively wrestling with. This section covers 3 of them. The first is automation bias. This is the human tendency, documented in psychology research, to trust a computer's recommendation over your own judgment, especially under stress. When an AI system generates a mission plan in 2 seconds during a firefight, there is enormous psychological pressure on the human commander to simply approve it without questioning the underlying logic. If the AI is wrong, that commander may not catch the error in time. International humanitarian law, the rules that govern warfare, requires that a human being, not a machine, makes the final call on any action that could harm people. The second risk is called the black box problem. Most advanced AI systems cannot explain why they made a recommendation. The computational path from input to output is invisible, even to the engineers who built the system. This means if an AI-generated flight path sends helicopters into danger, investigators may have no way to determine what went wrong or why. The third is brittleness. Project Maven's accuracy drop from 60% to 30% in snowy conditions is a perfect example. AI systems trained on one set of conditions can fail catastrophically when conditions change. If the training data doesn't include winter terrain, the system doesn't know what it doesn't know. The F-35B's auto-ejection system illustrates the real-world tension. The AI activates faster than a human can react during dangerous vertical landings, and it has saved lives. But pilots report it sometimes ejects them before they have a chance to recover the aircraft manually. Speed versus judgment. That tension is unresolved. The Arun mission showed us what AI can do when humans are still in the cockpit and in the command center. The next question is, what happens when we remove humans from the recovery aircraft itself? Right now, sending helicopters and transport planes into contested airspace to rescue a single person means putting additional crews at risk. 2 American transport planes were damaged or destroyed during the Arun operation itself. The military is actively developing the next generation of platforms to eliminate that trade-off. By approximately 2028, semi-autonomous unmanned CSAR aircraft are expected to be operational. These will be able to navigate to the rescue zone, locate the downed crew member using integrated emergency beacons, and position for extraction, but will still require a human operator to authorize the final medical pickup. By the 2030s, the goal is full autonomy. Unmanned aircraft that can complete the entire rescue sequence, locating, landing, retrieving, and extracting a crew member with no additional aircrew at risk. To achieve that, 4 capabilities are required: reliable navigation without GPS signals, autonomous medical extraction, a real-time human override at every stage, and an international legal framework governing when and how autonomous systems can operate in combat zones. Let's bring it all together. The recovery of both crew members in Kogiluya and Boyar Ahmad province was not primarily a story of bravery or luck, though those were present. It was a story of algorithmic speed. Every hour that passed without finding the weapons systems officer was an hour the enemy search parties closed in. AI compressed the planning and decision timelines so dramatically that the rescue package reached him first. The mission showed us that no single AI layer wins the battle alone. Cognitive electronic warfare cleared the airspace. Drone swarms found the hiding position. Machine vision confirmed the heat signature. Decision support systems plotted the safe extraction route. Deepfake detection neutralized the propaganda. Each system depended on the others. Remove any one layer, and the outcome may have been different. But the mission also showed us the limits. Human accountability is not optional. Automation bias, brittle performance in unexpected conditions, and the inability to explain AI decisions are not theoretical problems. They are active risks in every deployment. The doctrine is clear. AI is a force multiplier for human operators. It is not a replacement for human judgment. The CSAR motto is, "These things we do, that others may live." Artificial intelligence is now the critical enabler of that promise. The question going forward is not whether to use AI in rescue operations. The answer to that is clearly yes. The question is how to govern it, how to audit it, and how to ensure that as these systems grow more autonomous, human values remain at the center of every mission decision. Thank you for watching. Please support our work by joining the AI with Arun show as a member. And please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. We will see you in the next video.